Hello, my name is Mohammed Nahas, and today I'll be talking to you a little bit about Playscripts, which is a different approach to strategy as written by Michael G. Jacobides and published in the Harvard Business Review. Traditional strategy tools create static categories. Two examples are Porter's Five Forces model and the Blue Ocean strategy model. These tools presume that an industry is well defined and that organizations know exactly who their competitors, suppliers, and customers are, and that industry boundaries remain constant. Playscripts strategy, on the other hand, suggests that companies should approach strategy by describing the underlying logic, storylines, decisions, and motives of all the players that are creating and capturing value. A playscript is a narrative that sets out the cast of characters in a business, how they are connected, the rules they observe, the plots and subplots in which they play a part, and how companies create and retain value as the business and the cast change. Playscripts force companies to focus on the causes of change as opposed to the symptoms. They explain the logic of success and the assumptions behind it. Furthermore, they acknowledge that strategy can involve changing the company's links to other players, which is a key element that other frameworks ignore. A playscript encapsulates the motives, decisions, and actions of the company and those of all other organizations connected to it. It also describes roles, how companies add and capture value, and how organizations are linked. Playscripts are developed at two levels, corporate and business. We'll get into that next. The corporate playscript describes the logic by which value is generated and appropriated, and it consists of the synergies subplot and the financial subplot. The synergy subplot defines how the different parts of a corporation reinforce one another and how the center adds value by managing those relationships. The financial subplot describes how the company uses both assets and capital to generate returns. The business playscript is the more important of the two because it results in more value generation and contains three main elements: the dramatis persona and roles, which are the main actors in a sector, their motives, and their roles; the links and rules, which are the links between companies and the operating rules of the business; the present and future plots, which are the storylines of how players in a sector generate and capture value. A business playscript for pharmaceuticals, for example, plays out as such. The role of big pharmaceutical companies is to deliver new drugs under patent protection that offer better cures. Pharmaceutical companies have teamed up with biotech firms, universities, and research organizations to develop and test drugs. Doctors have the right to prescribe drugs for patients, while all players compensate drug companies by subsidizing patients' medical costs. Finally, R&D generates the most value and excitement for pharmaceutical companies as they can easily monetize new discoveries. However, the changes in the pharmaceutical business and throughout the healthcare system could make it difficult for them to create or capture value using that same strategy or narrative. So what should they do? A revised playscript would be more useful in the case of big pharma. When a drug company identifies emerging players, it will realize that it should rethink its links with them. Take, for instance, Novartis and AstraZeneca. Both aware that owning molecules and compounds is no longer enough for success, they aim to become the consumer's best friend. They plan to market both patented formulas and generic drugs. A playscript helps companies break free from the hidden assumptions of conventional strategy in several ways. It focuses on the environment and the interdependencies that drive success. It recognizes that companies can be competitors, buyers, and suppliers. It moves towards how companies are embedded in a collaborative web of value creation. And finally, it focuses less on what happens within a sector and more on how the market will change. So how to develop your own playscript? First, identify the other characters in the sector. What roles do they play? What are their motivations? What roles does your company play? How is it perceived by other players? And second, identify the links among actors and the rules that govern interactions. Finally, articulate the logic by which your company currently adds and captures value. The next step is to rethink your company's playscript and, if possible, reinvent it for the entire sector. To do that, you need to reconsider actors and roles. Imagine how your company can change the roles of existing or would-be participants. Evaluate whether your company can change the rules of engagement with other actors, and revisit what allows your company to add and capture value. Finally, you'll want to future-proof your playscript. make sure that it can cope with the foreseeable changes in your business. One issue to consider is how changes in customer needs will affect your company. There's always a correlation between who customers are, what they want, how they procure, and who has the power. As you build your Playscript, keep in mind that it needs to be imaginative and should explore all the opportunities that exist within or beyond your sector. Make sure it's outward-facing and focuses on the links your company has with other entities. Make it robust. It should not depend on too many assumptions and should focus on the actions that lead to the creation and capture of value. Finally, make sure that it's plausible. Why would your company, rather than some other player, be able to make a Playscript succeed? Thank you.